Only few couples don't run into bumps in the road. However, it's often tough to spot relationship problems when you're in the throes of love. You might even see a red flag or two, but not care one bit, because this is so much fun and you really love the person. I totally get it. But that doesn't mean you should ignore relationship problems, because many have a way of getting worse with time, and it may not work out at the end. So you should know what problems considered to be a deal breaker for both of you. So, what are these problems? Before we tell you, please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new video updates. 1. Having nothing in common. Most of life is spent in conversation, at least the important and meaningful parts of life. If you have nothing in common to share or to talk about, you can continue to be starved for a real partner or move on with your life. Never an easy decision, but it's really not a good idea to force a relationship with someone who's your total opposite. For example, if you're an extrovert and they're an introvert, or if you like to hike and they won't even step outside, such differences can get more and more frustrating with time. 2. Different spending habits. Money is one of the top things couples fight about. So don't be surprised if this becomes your go-to argument, or if it gets worse as the years go by. Understand how both you and your partner relates to it is important. Researchers found that the more responsible the participants perceive their partners to be with money, the higher their own sense of well-being and the happier they were with their relationships. The opposite was also true. Participants who thought their partners were bad with money had a lower sense of well-being and felt less committed to the relationship. 3. A lack of sexual chemistry. Believe it or not, but an instant attraction doesn't necessarily mean a relationship will or will not work out. If you two aren't the most sexually compatible, you can definitely work on it by communicating and experimenting. But do know this issue doesn't always work itself out. If the chemistry is not there from the beginning, it usually will only go downhill from there. 4. A controlling and demanding personality. A person who suffers from a controlling personality will often reason to themselves that if they can control their partner, it will make the relationship more secure. They think it will prevent their partner from leaving them or cheating on them with someone else. And since people are normally on their best behavior in the early days of a relationship, take note of any hints that may be controlling or demanding. 5. Issues from the past. In romantic relationships, people can sometimes repeat behaviors to make up for the faults of their previous ones. In psychology, this is called repetition compulsing, and it essentially means you're trying to fix the past by pursuing similar situations or people who once hurt you. Any fights about family members or ex-partners will likely only get more heated. So nip those in the bud ASAP. As relationship expert Steph Safran says, if you notice early on that you feel that you are not on the same page when dealing with things from the past, you need to find early on if you can make an agreement. What's okay to talk about and what isn't? And how do you plan to deal with this issue the next time it comes up? 6. Lack of communication. Without communication, it's almost impossible to get on the same page and keep your relationship afloat. A lack of communication can quickly cause misunderstandings, resentments, and feelings that you are emotionally far away or distant from each other. Open and honest communication is something you'll have to work on throughout your entire relationship. Poor communication habits eventually harm the relationship, and if you two can't fight in a healthy way or compromise during problems, a breakup is incredibly likely. 7. Boundary issues. Lack of boundaries in relationships. Boundaries are limits to what is acceptable or can be tolerated in a relationship. Boundaries are very individual, but people with addictions and those close to them often have problems with setting and sticking to boundaries in relationships. A relationship cannot be healthy if clear boundaries are not in place and respected. The presence of healthy boundaries in romantic relationships greatly reduce the tendency to blame your partner. 8. Disrespect and dishonesty. You're looking to build and maintain a happy, healthy relationship, but this is impossible if one partner feels disrespected by the other. Disrespect can often be a relationship killer, and being disrespected by the one you truly love is the worst thing ever. And again, if someone can't be respectful on the first date, imagine how they'll act on the 10th. They are probably not the most trustworthy person ever, and that can lead to a lot of hurt down the road. At the end, try to fix the issues that can be fixed, and try to accept each other. But at the same time, don't put a lot of effort into something that won't work out. It would only give you heartache and pain.